There we go. Hey guys, how's it going? So 3 days in a row streaming. Obviously, I'll be going back to the regular schedule now. So next stream after this one will be on Saturday. Um, but yeah, so we're making progress. We're starting to get somewhere. It's getting to the point now where I'm going to need to start getting the head hair in, which frankly is a terrifying task just because of how much uncertainty I have about the hairstyle. So I think today's stream will be about figuring out, what the braid's doing, but also where are they going, where do they start, what do they look like in 3D space. Because currently, the only images I can find of this specific photo shoot with, all the crosses and the hairstyle, you can only find front angle. I haven't been able to find any other angle. We do have other images, obviously, of her with braids, but they're not the most helpful things, just because it's different days, different braiding, obviously. They're in very visibly different places, so it's really hard to figure out exactly what the hair is going to be doing. So I'm currently kind of googling to figure out, what the fuck is going on. I'm also sort of searching braids to ponytails black. Just searching that has been quite helpful. I've been able to find a few more hairstyles, kind of like Caribbean, African kind of braid stuff. Maybe not African. I think that would be a bit different, but yeah, like that Caribbean type of hair. So just trying to find a good ref. So this is where we're at the moment. Also, while searching for ref, I've forgot to keep the image, so I'll have to find it again later. But I've noticed one of the reasons the teeth aren't working yet, other than not having textures or any kind of proper look depth, is the fact that her teeth actually point out slightly. So it's kind of like a peak at the front. They're not perfectly straight. So once I do that, I'll get some better shadowing, because currently they feel extremely flat, but I think angling them will help quite a lot. Which, I mean, the gums are wrong, but I can deal with that. But yeah, so in terms of what we do have, eyebrows I'm fairly happy with for now. I do want to do more passes on them later, especially with a blend to the top of the head. And the eyelashes feel too thick to me, and they also still feel like they're growing too high. So I'll have to fix that. But I think, again, for today, I'm just going to try to figure out the head hair. And then, before I go too much further, I'm going to revisit the skin look dev. Start painting some actual specular mats, because currently roughness, I believe, is just a flat value, or it's just a remapped version of the skin, but I do need to actually paint a real roughness map. Currently the values are completely arbitrary. They just kind of look cool, but they're clearly not working, especially on cheeks and the head and all that sort of stuff. Also off stream, let me see if I can get this. I rendered it again in the other lighting setup, just to see what we're dealing with. So this is kind of the way it was looking on at the end of this stream. So I'm pretty happy. Obviously ignore the chrome dome, but like it's starting to come together. Still need to texture the caruncles because they're not right, and I also need to properly model the meniscus just to have it conform to the caruncle. And there's a few questions I've got for myself on the actual model, like the accuracy of the eyes. I'm still not 100% sure if these are the right shape or not, because they seem to match the high res, but they don't seem to match any other reference I've got. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's just a complete quirk of camera angle or something, but yeah. Although we can see the peach fuzz quite nicely in this lighting. It's a bit too obvious on the nose. I don't know how well it'll come across in stream, but it really is too obvious on the nose. But on the cheek here, it's working quite well. And on the top lip, it's again maybe a little bit too much, but it's looking fairly cool. But yeah, we just got a ton of specular work to do, because all this shininess is obviously way too much. Yeah, so the challenge for today is figuring out this. So obviously we've got some regular grooming to do. It's not all braids. So far I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. It's really hard to tell what's going on here. I think this is a clump, but that might be the start of another braid. I mean, there's 4 on this side, so I don't know why there wouldn't be 4 on the other side. And we can't see any hair behind the neck, so which means to me that it's probably just one ponytail, because her hair, I've just went through her Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, kind of looked around this time, and her hair was quite long when she did this photo shoot. I think it was definitely past the shoulders. So I've got a feeling this all goes to one ponytail that stays at the back like quite neatly. So obviously I'm not going to spend ages doing it, but it will be worth kind of making something in its place just so that it feels fairly accurate. So at the end of the day, although I'm replicating one image, I do want a model that I can do a turntable of, so it's worth making sure the groom works at every angle. This is the other reference we have where it's a vaguely similar hairstyle. The difficult thing with this one is that she's got 2 ponytails, so I don't think this will be that accurate, but it does give me some idea as to what the hair will be doing around the braids. It's not, again, it's not perfectly accurate because it's simply not the same hairstyle. Like all this baby hair stuff that she's got here is obviously not there, but it seems a lot more slack, a lot more loose in general. Because if we viewed this from the front, it would be a very sharp, like you'd see like a V shape where these braids kind of go to skin and then back. Whereas on this, we don't see that at all. So it's quite loose hair between all these braids. So I'm going to have to figure out exactly how that's working. It's going to be really quite strange. I need to find a real world reference of well, I guess this is real world, but I need to find another reference of a similar hairstyle. Yeah, so this image isn't one that I'm following. I'm still looking around for but yeah, like I'm trying to find kind of a loose maybe searching a loose braid to ponytail. Come on. So it's not right, but this stuff here is kind of interesting. Her hair is obviously way too short though. If anyone has any ideas, or if better yet, if anyone actually knows where to find an image of her hairstyle around the time she did that photo shoot, then please let me know. God, that would be really cool to do at some point. But yeah, I mean, this stream like is not really going to be any grooming. It's going to be pretty much entirely modeling. Maybe I'll groom between the braids, or like figure something out there, but it really does depend on if we figure out what the fuck is going on. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, please do feel free to ask, as I always say at the start of each stream and during every other minute during these streams. But the offer's there. Nah, it's not loose enough. I feel like for this I'm going to have to ask around and see kind of what people know, because I know absolutely nothing about braided hair. Like, I really know very little about like braided hair. So I'm completely out of, like, I have no idea what to Google or anything. That's not braided. Yeah, because something like this would be too tight. Then we would be able to see that from the front. That's obviously not what I want. No. It's not what I want, but I kind of like this waviness to these clumps. That would be really fun to get in. The amount of guide work I'm going to have to do for this is absolutely horrible. Like, there's going to be so much guide work for this. Where can I find this sort of stuff? Looks really difficult. Right, okay. I'll ignore this for now. Cool. Oh, and also the ID pass kind of shows what our peach fuzz is doing in an interesting way. We've got a lot of intersection here. The length is obviously too much on the nose too. Width is obviously completely inaccurate, but yeah, let's go to the reference cam. So I'm going to set this up now to have 4 different cameras. So a ref cam, ref high res, and That's my render cam, so let's go to perspective cam in this one. In fact, I don't really need that much. Let's go to ref and that'll do. Go to channel box editor. I'm going to set this as a live object for a moment. And then just lock the rest of the layer. View, camera tools. So I think in terms of braid number, this one might be pretty accurate. I'm just so curious, is maybe, because we're only seeing the front, maybe this baby hair stuff that she's got going on, maybe that is just loose and it just goes back towards the braids, but then it is parted more aggressively at the back. Also, the head mesh isn't matching the head mesh in this ref, which is going to be an issue. Especially up here. Okay, let's create a curve. Create curve, CV curve. And then for now, I'm just going to start with one of these really obvious ones. So let's just place some generic. Something like that will do for now. And then let's turn off that. Yeah, once we get back here, I need to find some actual reference for it. That needs to go back this way, doesn't it? Is that roughly in the right place? I don't think it is it? Looks like it might be a little bit more accurate. So how are you guys doing anyway? Everyone doing okay? Modify, center pivot. It looks like these are going to have to head towards each other. Like that. Would they cross over potentially? Is that something that's possible to happen? I mean, obviously it's possible, but is it something that's likely? I guess it depends on how it's tied, right? give these a little bit more. It's not I want. Concurrent viewers has dropped from like 8 to 2. You can tell this is going to be one of the more boring streams to watch, to be fair. It is just mental torment, really. For me, not you guys. Although probably partially you guys as well. Apologies to anyone watching this. There we go. Right, and we got one more right there. I can see that one. So that should go about there, I guess. So I'm wondering what she did for this like whole area. Like there's really no braids going on for quite a large amount of space. This is where having other angles is so important. That needs to go up more. I like how they're getting more slack as it goes down as well. It's quite nice. I think this would be more accurate. Have all the braids converge to a point like that. They don't need that much volume at the back, that's for sure. See, I've done really intricate like braided hairstyles before, but normally I've got, you know, like proprietary tools to do them, so it's not as easy in next gen. Although Yeti has some quite nice tools, and all Natrix. I think it's just X-Gen it's old now. It's being left behind quite a lot. Right, so if I group these guys, duplicate the group, and set scale to -1, how close of a proxy is that? Oh, it's not far off, so her is relatively symmetrical. Modify for each transformations, and then grab all of these, group those, delete history, and then let's just delete the other two groups. Braid, base, CRB, group. And I put base CRB in 1. There we go. We're going to need to add some variation. Are you going to be using Braid Maker? No, not at the moment. I'm going to see how far I can get without using Braid Maker, just because I really don't want to pay $40. I think for a non-freelancer, like, because I'm currently, like, I've not got any freelance gigs on at the moment, so it's just kind of like, there's no reason for me to pay $40 for it. If it was like $20, then maybe, but yeah, it's a bit too expensive for me to want to get it right now. I know it would save me time, but at the same time you can make braids using old paint effects tricks. Like, Braid Maker isn't the only way to make them, luckily. Although it is a great way to make them. No disrespect to Avishek, he's made a really fantastic tool. But just too expensive for what I want. I think that little bit of variation there is going to be quite helpful. Which side should be dominant? I'm going to have this side be dominant, which means doing something like that. This one, does it line up to any? I think it does. I'm going to move it back a little bit though, because I don't really see much going on over there. It was $18. Yeah, it's something like, if it was cheaper I'd buy it. I'd buy it in a heartbeat, but for $40, like, for one project that seems a bit extreme. Like, if it was on sale, then sure, why not? But, you know, and I guess I did buy some texture packs for this, but the thing is those texture packs are for, you know, generic white, female, XYZ, XYZ skin. So anytime I do a female, that's going to be something that I use. So I'm going to do a hell of a lot more female projects than I will braid projects. So I can warrant spending, I mean that was only $20 anyway because it was on 50%. So I can warrant spending $20 on XYZ textures. I can't warrant spending $40 on some braids, really. Again though, fantastic tool. I've seen it in use, but not something I'd pay $40 for. Right, so we got that. And we're gonna need a big braid coming from like here that goes straight down. It's actually a lot lower on this side. Cool. And then let's just have a braid back here. And then let's just soft slot these into place. I need to get some nice curl going on. Maybe not that much curl. See, that length feels about accurate to what she had at the time. So I just need to make sure it's coming out straight to begin with. So if it had been braided, I don't think it'd be that wavy. Maybe that shouldn't be so vertical either. Cool, so that one's way off on second viewing. Looks like I actually might be way off on this stuff. I think that might be going higher up, like that. Yeah, it looks like that might be right. Right, let's see if I can remember how to do this. Because it's been a really long time since I made any braids. So let's just start with this one for now. So, let me save my scene. I'm going to delete the history on all these, freeze transformations. Then I'm going to go into the renamer tool, call this braid base CRV underscore, let it number them, and then I can do a modify, where is it, modify search and replace names, search for dollar and replace with underscore CRV. There we go. So they're all named, frozen transformations, I'm going to be playing with this quite a lot, but I guess we can just figure out all the other stuff first. And I'm going to save an alt version as well. Let's get our first braid in. So I think it's in effects, and hair, assign hair system, and then new hair system. Fatal error. That was quick. That was really quick. That might be a new record. Right, so open scene, groom. Well, let's not break any records this time. I'm also just going to hide the groom just in case that's causing any issues itself. Going to effects, and hair, assign hair system, new hair system. Fatal error again. Okay. Fatal error, I'm creating hair system on TV curve, no history, renames, no history, transforms, or naming conflicts in scene. Alright, let's try that again. Come on, file, open scene, groom. Do you do any demo reviews sometimes? As in like reviewing other people's products? In which case, I did a demo for Texturing XYZ a couple of years ago of their cloth mats, but the only reason I did that is because I actually released an identical product like 2 weeks before them. And I happened to know Jeremy at the time. Never seen anyone actually write in the box before. That's king behavior. Thank you. Right, so let me try panels. Panel outliner. Right, so I'm going to try this instead. Effects, and hair, assign hair system. Alright, actually convert selection. Right, now can I come out of this? Aha! There we go. It's the ultimate of shitty workarounds that I've got. And I love the fact it works. No, like people send you their demo for feedback. I do, yeah. If you want to send me yours, I'm more than happy to do that. If you want it to be on stream or if you want it to be off stream, that's completely fine by me. If you want it to be off stream, then just find me on Facebook. Just Michael Couchy. You should be able to find me relatively easily. There's not many people with my name. Just look for the guy that looks like an absolute dick and you're on to me. Alright, so panels, let's go into, in fact no, let's not do that. So we got our hair system. And we need to assign in hair. There we go. So, hair system. We want 3 hairs, many a subsegment. We don't want any anything like that yet. And we need to go to our follicle, which is, there it is. Braid. Cool. So is it clump width? Yeah, there we go. It's been so long since I did this. So clump width is just a number of braids fundamentally. And then the clump width scale, I want to keep that relatively uniform. Hair width scale. See, technically I want this to be absolutely massive at the, oh no, it's hair width, clump width scale. Let's try cranking this like 2 or something. That is not the way I want it to be. FKA. Can't see shit. Hey Gosi, how you doing? So I think we're gonna need more braids than that. Let me check the side ref. Yeah, lol. Yeah, we're gonna need more braids than that. Well, not many more though, to be fair. So I'm gonna name this hair system.
What was it?
One sec. Braid gen. But I'm gonna call it hair system braid gen. Cool. Just trying to figure out how to get the braids to look the way I want.
Ooh, are you using braids?
Braid maker?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, this is, you can do everything that Braid Maker does is built into Maya. He just makes it way easier.
Oh,
Whereas I made braids years ago, so I remember the general technique. It's not very easy to control, and there are obviously extra features in the Braid Maker tool, but fundamentally the way it works is quite nice. It's literally just clump width in the groom is how many braids you want, like how tight the braids. Then hair width is just the thickness of each individual clump in that braid, and then you just convert this to a mesh. In fact, actually I'm going to do that now. Modify, convert. But actually, let me check the paint effects first. So I'm going to need to convert that. Modify, convert, paint effects to polygons. Then I want quad output and hide strokes, and let's set the quad output a bit lower. Let's say, in fact no, let's keep that where it is. how do I get more polygons around it? That's a nice feature as well, is you can have thinning, just get rid of the braids one by one, so they don't all end at the same point. So I'm just going to do a little bit of that. How can I add... How do I add more sides? That's what I can't remember now. Is it in the paint effects itself? Maybe if I smooth this? I guess that will do. I just need to make sure to get out the habit of deleting history, because if I delete history, it's gone. Like, I can't keep working on it.
You just miss me.
I miss you all the time.
Huh?
What?
No, I just really badly smacked my head off the shelf.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's not good. That's too many.
I'm bleeding out the back of my head.
Wait, you really?
Yeah.
Fuck, you okay?
I think so.
That's not good. I mean, it's great that you think you're okay, but like...
Sorja was like, "Are you KO'd?" instead of okay, and I was like, "Yes."
I am KO'd, thanks. I added a little bit of flatness to this. In fact, no, I don't want any flatness while I'm adding that. And then hair width we want to be reduced at up here. Cool, so I'm going to save this scene. So can I change the shape of this? I can't remember if this works or not. I can't. Which one is it that I can change? I can't remember which one it is that I can change that actually moves the braid around. Let's remove the 0 from that. It's not doing what I want. Oh, it just cuts it, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So let's go into that hair width. And then at the end over here, just bring that hair width back down. I guess we can add a little bit of curl at that point. Just get a little bit more chaos in there. Right, so now let's try. Come on, there we go. Let's try assigning that same hair system to this. Assign hair system. There we go. Then I just need to go to the follicle and set this to braid as well. There we go. And then I need to do the same for all of these. So, can I do multiple at a time? I think I can. And hair, assign hair system. Cool. Now I just need to go follicle one at a time and turn on braid.
I'm gonna send you something for us.
It's been so long since I did this. Yeah, no worries.
When you're done telling it, replace them, I think, on my Dino files.
So now what we can do is we've got the per follicle overrides. So we can now change clump width scale and all that sort of stuff, which so we can modify each braid individually. Although in this case I don't think I want to modify them, to be honest. We definitely don't want to override the density. This one we want to override dynamics and just twist. There we go. There we go. Alright, so these are way further forward than what I've got, so let's just stick with the front angle. I really can't see anything, which is kind of frustrating. So let's match this one first, I guess. So all I need to do is go into the hair sim, increase the, where is it? You got the hair width scale, where's the clump width scale? Oh, the clump width scale is not moving. That's the only one that's live. Okay. So now I have to go one at a time. Or is it outputting them all as the same mesh? And we can use this for proxy, and maybe I can do another pass at it later. Let's give that a go. Just need to spread all of these out now. I'm gonna reduce that a little bit. There we go. Straighten and hair, assign hair system. Do I have to assign paint effects again? Okay, so that's broken now. So I won't push too much further with that because I'm going to need to do another pass at it. But that can allow us to start figuring out the other grooms and what the hell's going on. I'm going to try doing some stuff though. I'm going to have to model in some variation by hand as well, just so they don't feel so samey. But I think that's enough for us to start blocking out other stuff. Cool, so let's assign another to this guy. So I'll save my scene. Need to fix all this stuff back here. What am I doing? In hair, assign hair system, new hair system. Fatal error. Okay, so whenever we assign a new hair system, we need to make sure that we don't have the viewport visible. I didn't mean to close that. I wanted to type in the fact that not having the viewport visible fixes it. Too late though. Oh, I just shared it. I do if you're watching. Thank you for sharing. So this time I'm going to go to this guy, set you to outliner again, select you, close that, and then go to effects, End hair, assign hair system, new hair system. There we go. I don't know why that works, but if something's crashing your scene every time you do it, then just go into the don't have a viewport open, do it, and then put the viewport back in, and it tends to not crash. It tends to be fine, which makes absolutely zero sense, but if it works, so fuck it. Modify, convert paint effects to polygons. What output? There we go. Paint effects. Draw as mesh. Okay, so that doesn't work. Did I kill it? I think I did. Do that again. Draw as mesh. So now we can convert it. Modify, convert, paint effects polygons. And then let's just assign a Lambert to that. So hair system 1. Lots of subsegments. I need to rebuild this curve with more CVs. I need to turn on, where's the follicle? There it is. Turn on braiding. Beautiful. And then its clump width needs to go way up. Hair width also needs to go way up. There we go. It's going to need to be way bigger, right? Maybe not that big, but there's a hair width scale. Get rid of that. I think clump width can go even lower, 1.5. Cool, and then hair width can go down. For a temp that will do, although it's obviously not the right shape. But now I can just delete all this stuff, because this gives us a reference point to groom to. Maybe we will start grooming today.
What is it?
Well, now that I've got the braids vaguely in place, I can start placing all the other grooms. So obviously this ponytail needs a lot of shape adjustment, but it gives me an idea at least. It gives me a goal.
How many do you use your computer tomorrow? Is that okay?
You need to use my computer? Yeah, that's fine.
Tomorrow.
Lighting? Yeah.
Start rendering on Saturday.
Do you need my machine to render, or?
Maybe some of the shots just to help out.
Yeah.
Because obviously I work during the week as well, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
So tomorrow what I'll do is make sure everything's pumped.
Let's create a layer for these guys. Well, actually, let's group those. Braid, temp group. So something that I'll need to do eventually is select all these end vertices, do something like that, and then scale as way out, and then match that to the mesh so that it's actually pulling hair from you know, not just one point, because you know that's not how braids work. Like you don't just get a very fine area and then turn it into a thick braid. Like you need to get quite a lot of surface area to get a braid to work correctly. So at some point we'll need to go through and do this. Really, I'm gonna say really again. Really. But yeah, so something like that, and we'll need to do that kind of everywhere, so that when we turn this into a groom, it doesn't look like there's just a fine point of hair becoming this huge, like, this huge mass. So that would be impossible. No idea how we're going to handle this one. I guess it's just going to be a more extreme version of the same thing, but you get the general point. That's something we'll have to do. Let's put that in there. The amount that they're floating off the head doesn't feel right to me. So that comes down to one of two things. Either the head volume is wrong, which we kind of already know to be true. We know the head volume is wrong. But it's just... it's too large in most of my references, but too small in that front reference. So I'm really, really unsure as to how to progress with that. If I had multiple references, it'd be perfect. Or if I had multiple references from the same day, it'd be perfect. But I don't have multiple references from the same day, so we're at a bit of an impasse with that.
If you're looking for that kind of hairstyle, I can suggest looking at blackish or grownish.
See, I searched FKA twigs braids, and I also searched braids to ponytail black. I need to search braids to ponytail Caribbean specifically. I'm going to search that.
Then more probably African.
You think that's more of an African?
Yeah. It's more of an Afro-Caribbean thing. They still wear braids a lot in their culture.
I was just thinking with her father being Caribbean, maybe she'd take more influence from that side. African.
Is it cool?
I'm pretty sure he's...
Let's see the braids.
This is pretty much giving me the same results as before. Shame. Load. I want to see what the hair's doing. That's low res anyway. God damn it.
There's a whole episode where she actually has her hair similar. Can I see the full image of FKA twigs?
Sure. So this is the front. The hair's crushed, like there's no dynamic range in it at all. So pretty much all you can get out of it is silhouette. And then the side reference is not the same hairstyle because it's got two ponytails, but that's the best thing I could find.
Yeah, the suits and put it on the back.
Yeah, basically I'm going to copy what this is doing on the back, just have one ponytail instead.
Rainbow. Yeah, she has it.
So we're going to grab a drink and go to the toilet as well. Back in 1 second, guys. Who's this? Oh, right. Yeah, I find a lot of them, the braids are pulled super tight, which hers seemingly aren't, because you don't see skin between them. Yeah, the thing I'm struggling with most is finding braids that aren't pulled tight.
Can you bring up your ref again, sir?
The front ref?
Yeah.
That one. I'm just going to go to the toilet.
You can actually see the divide in her skin. I think she might
But
have
it's not really much of one, like there's quite a lot that's loose.
Mike, I think I know why.
One sec. You know why what?
Because I would think it's a full one.
What's it? You can see braids.
Yeah.
So it's definitely braids.
Yeah, but I think that's the kind of understyle, if that makes sense. So you find if you're able to narrow down that type of hairstyle, like you're just gonna have to pick one. I reckon you're not gonna be able to get that exact style because you don't have.
Yeah, I don't have the other references.
So like, there's definitely more artist like ref of her like front things.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's really hard to say. I mean, maybe the
You bring
diagonal.
that photo into Photoshop and crank it a bit.
No, the blacks are crushed, so you can't get information out of it. It's completely like the pixel value for quite a lot of it is 0, so you can't get any data out of it at all. Multiplying it doesn't help, or gaining it doesn't help. There's very little information. Like there is a tiny amount. I mean, maybe that ref is onto something in terms of it going diagonally like that.
It is. I don't. It's really hard to see if there's actually is braids. Zoom in.
It's definitely braids because you can see one there,
I feel like though that they're not beginning at the top.
and
of the
that's
scalp.
braid.
I feel
No,
like
they don't begin at the top.
Scalp, it's looser. It's like further down. I know she wears.
Oh yeah, mine aren't beginning at the hairline. They're nowhere near hairline.
I know that some herself as well. Though she wears like wigs
Mm-hmm.
and like not weave, but what do you call it? You know, whenever you have like extensions at the top.
What I might do for now then is start blocking out the hairline while I figure out what's going on with the top. I feel like the back will just fall into place once we've got the top.
I'm just setting an image, but I need it for myself.
No worries. Oh, well that one's wrong. So this one is further forward than her actual hairline. Unless it's on the other side. Oh, that is on the other side. So it's at roughly the same point as that one. And that one is fine, okay. I'm gonna create a groom for the head, and I'm going to call it fur head loose, maybe, so that I can use that to do all the hair that isn't directly tied into a braid or into the ponytail at the back. So I can do around the ears, I can do the hairline, I can do all that stuff. I think that would be a decent name for it. So let's create our first head groom. And it will be subject to many a change. Right. I just need to get my whack-em out. My wrist is feeling really sore. I was practicing some funk stuff earlier, like while he was in the shower, and it's absolutely killing my wrist. I've been listening to a lot of Corey Wong recently. Anyone who's like into funk and likes Vulfpeck, Corey Wong is one of their guitarists. And just trying to copy his style, and it's really hard on your wrist. Like really hard. He jokes about turning his wrist into cartilage, but I think that's genuinely what happens. What? So we're going to create a description. Call this one fur.
You want some more answer on your groom?
What's that?
You want some more answer on your groom?
Sure. You want some what? Do you want to look at some reference? What is it you're saying? Wait, he was able to get.
All you did was reverse the contrast and the brightness.
It might not be the identical image because this one's crushed down.
This is slightly lower res one. Like you can see already, like zooming into her, she's not as high res. That's what I did.
So we have braids.
It starts, you can see that, so it's like, you can see the sectioning here.
Can you send me that image? Like save out this image as it is and send it to me? Because the reference that I've got is blown. So I think you've got a different image that isn't.
It's
like
really
plans.
compressed. If you go in, it's like, you can see already, like looking at it. Like,
Yeah.
that might help.
Yeah, that will help for sure. Thank you.
Or did I save that too?
I have no clue.
Just kidding. No. Randomly saved it here, but
Check the save as before you save.
you can, it's really good. It's an online, like, there you go. Save as, it's fantastic.
Cool. Yeah, if you send that to me.
Becca, to the rescue.
Thank you, Becca.
Sometimes I do stupid things, but they're smart.
Sometimes. Suddenly picking up a bunch of viewers.
Well, then they get to see my amazing helpfulness.
I think they joined just in time to miss it.
Aww. Well, Mike was complaining that he couldn't see.
And Becca has saved me.
You might be able to put crank it a bit more actually. But I don't know.
I think the amount you've got is pretty much perfect because I can see enough, but it's not like blown out on the highlights.
Show them what I did. Show them what I did.
Yes. Give me a second.
And Mike was like, I can't see this image. It's too dark.
Yes, and you found one that isn't as compressed, and you multiplied it. I know.
I didn't multiply it.
So this is the one that Becca's sent through. Open imaging tab. It's obviously very low res, but it's enough to see. We might actually have more braids to do.
I don't think so. I think there's 6. There's
I can see one here, one there. They're obvious enough. One there, one there, one there.
Oh, there's 4. I think there's 4 on each side. There's one at the front.
One,
Here.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's 4. There's 4. See on her.
That's really far forward.
It's merged. See the upper side of her head.
Yeah.
You can see it. Yeah, it's easier to see there.
Yeah.
Basically, she's what I think that they have done is they see the front of her hair. They have pulled out flyaways and then greased them down. Have you ever seen that with like a toothbrush where they do it?
Yeah, no, I've seen
so
that.
I think that's what they've done. I am not an expert in this type of hair. If somebody knows someone who is, it would be helpful.
I feel like Lehigh. Is it Lehigh or Lehigh? It's Lehigh, right? Because he's posted quite a few hairstyles like this one. He might actually know.
I'll hit him up and see what he says.
Yeah. Because I know he posted like an African warrior princess like concept art thing not so long ago.
The big album of it all.
Obviously, it's not the same hairstyle as this, but he posts quite a few things like that, so you might know kind of what it's called at least. Right, I'm gonna save this image. And I'm gonna save it to. Okay, twigs, ref, primary.
I'm thinking of getting my hair all chopped off. I
What?
don't like to let it grow back. I'm thinking of getting like a pixie cut, like really, really short.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of letting it grow back?
No, it grows back your real hair, like your natural hair.
Fair enough. Yeah, go
You
for
know
it.
what I mean? Like chop it all off and grow back. Because my hair feels like death.
I mean, won't it go back to that by the time it reaches its current length, though?
No, it's from box dye and stuff, so I'm not gonna dye it. I'm just gonna like.
Just gonna let it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it dry, like actually grow out.
Have I actually seen you with your natural hair colour? Have you always been dyeing it?
My natural hair comes from my roots are right now. I'm actually almost as dark as her.
But like, in the time we've been together, has it been your natural colour, or have you been dyeing?
No, it's always been dyed.
Oh.
I'm just dark with really grey patches. And then you saw my brother's hair when we were back.
Yeah.
He's really grey, but I'm the same. This is my mum.
This isn't far enough forward. Okay, we're gonna drag this onto
Is
the
that
other.
like a geo that you've made?
Is what a geo that I've made?
What's in your...
Myosine?
Yeah.
Yep. Although it looks like the angle might not be enough. Although maybe it's fine. It looks like it might actually be okay. I just need to drag this one further back. something like that. I think these might be actually slightly further forward. So get this one and get this one. Pull them forward a little bit. How does that compare to the side ref? Yeah, that looks about right actually. Cool. So it's got like this crazy like pulled back thing for the braids. I think angle wise these might be okay. These ones seem to be a bit flatter. I'm going to need to break up the symmetry a little bit, that's for sure. And I'm late again, says Francisco. Yeah, only a bit. It's not like I stream at the exact same time 3 days a week. To be fair, I don't really stream the exact same time, so you are forgiven. And I was so interested in the process of braids, got to see you streaming again. Yeah, I mean, it's literally, I'm not using Braid Maker or anything, I'm just using Paint Effects and Maya's N-Hair tools. Well, not even N-Hair tools, the really old hair system tools, just using those to braid curves and then convert that to Paint Effects and convert Paint Effects to geometry and then manually model from there. I'm basically too broke to want to spend 40 quid on, oh, $40, sorry, there is a difference. $40 on Braid Maker. As I've said many times, because I am friends with the guy who made it, so just to be like super clear, it's definitely worth the money. I just don't want to buy it right now. So, like, it is an amazing tool and a lot of pros use it, but for me right now, not worth it. Right, I guess we got our new groom. Do we need to unlock? Right there. Where are you? Add guide and start there. Let's check that to the side view. That's actually a bit further back than the hairline suggests. This hair needs to go that way. I need to get pure ref up now. Load image. Load recent. Now I need to drag the new image in there as well. Where is it? There it is. Projects. Where's the projects? FKA twigs. Ref. Get this really bright one. Wow, the image is even smaller than that one. Jesus. Just setting up.
Yeah, it's gonna respond. Going to soldier group.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Our groom friend is in need. Help. So now my reference on the other screen. There we go. Right, so where does that split happen? That split happens like here. Geo braid temp layer. Copy, paste. Where's my Wacom pen? There it is. So I'm gonna turn off lock length for a while and just focus on getting this to look good. I need to rebuild these as well, Xgen. Let's rebuild these to like, let's go with 7. That's not enough, is it? That needs to be a lot straighter. And this guy, why are these not locked? Oh, I locked the wrong layer, that's why. Oops. So that needs to actually reach way further back. That needs to go like there. So it needs to go like there. I'm going to copy this guide. Paste. So I guess I need to, I'm going to need to delete these guides out and put them in a different groom because I'm currently not doing the loose hair that I thought I would be. Although I guess I kind of am because I'm just doing the hairline. Like maybe I can just do this loose groom is like up until the braids start, and then after that is all the tight, like super tight ones. So I need a guide right there. Cool. And this guy needs to go I guess he needs to go straight in, right? Cool, let's get some in the middle. Let's go there. Cool. And then one more on this side. So I guess we go down here next. Yeah, somewhere like there. And these ones need to slope pretty much immediately down and up. That's too far back, isn't it? Let's add the guide based on, let's go, let's turn off polygons in this view. Let's add the guide right there. Okay, so that braid's in the wrong place, I think. Oh, I'm just going off the wrong position. What's going on? Edit, redo. That was weird. I completely bugged out. Okay, so I guess I'm going to rebuild those guides. That's super weird. Do I need to have the polygons visible for it to work? Show polygons. So this one needs to go down and then up into this. It needs to be pretty flat to the head for it to work. This guide needs to go all the way down to like there. So this guy gets to have a bit of free life, which is nice. it's like there somewhere. Let's go into XGen, normalize. I need to rebuild it too. Let's go to 8. And my undo queue is broken again.
When I accept one friend request, I get about 100 more.
Really?
Mm.
Bit strange.
That's kind of cool.
What?
The guy that, you know, the human, it was like for a human to survive like a car crash or something. That like weird sculpt, and it was like, yeah, the person that did that added me.
What?
Yeah, the person that made that like render added me. It's really bizarre.
Oh, Dimitri Levy? Yeah.
I found it really odd. I was like, that's this profile photo is that.
Yeah, he worked on it a couple of years ago.
Oops.
Should this reach all the way to the back? I don't think it should. So now I've got so much just miscellaneous shit to figure out. In fact, I feel like I should get rid of these entirely. I can do them again later. But in which case I can't undo. I have to live with my decisions now.
What can you undo?
Maya just won't let me undo. My undo key is completely broken, so if things break I need to go back a save. I'm playing Maya in hardcore mode basically.
I was like, what is going on? And I realized I have the light behind the scene.
Right, so loose hair, I guess we're just doing the sides. This should be longer, so let's just make him longer. Something like that should be fine. It needs to be super flat to the head. Need to get some down here roughly. Let's rebuild all of these with 8. Although I guess the stuff around the ears is going to be like quite short, right? So maybe I shouldn't do this guide here. Maybe I should place that like there. So I think that actually should be lifting up like that. See, the way this hair's going, so you guys can't see it because it's off screen, the way this hair's going makes me think that it's actually wrapping around this at the back to make like a kind of the ponytail is tied with hair, which is gonna be an absolute bitch to get right. So I think the way that this hair's moving, i.e. you can see that it's pulling up slightly, that suggests to me that it's going around the back and being used to wrap around this to tie the ponytail with her own hair.
Yeah.
That is tricky, my dude. Like, it's really difficult. I've done it a few times. In one time when I was grooming for a show, I did a ponytail which was tied using braids. That was a nightmare. Like, that was an absolute fucking nightmare. Well, it might not have been braids, but it's still a... No, I don't think it was braids, actually. No, I'm bullshitting. It was just a ponytail tied with hair, but it was really quite horrible. So let's go back here. Normalize. Let's check this side view. Yes, it's just going straight up pretty much. I'm going to loosen it a little bit though, I don't want it to be too tight. And how big is that gap behind the back of the head? So let's just go. It's basically just a straight line. Are you guys okay with me having my reference on the other screen? If not, I can bring it over. I really want to make use of the screen space.
Ah.
What?
The hairstyle's called a flat twist.
Flat twist.
Mike.
Sick.
That's
Right, okay. Flat twist. I'm going to block this out at the moment just because I know that this is what it's doing at the back. Just based on the other ref.
That would make sense because there's more hair around that it actually, yeah.
What do you mean?
Because, like, there's less hair, you know what I mean?
Yep.
There's less skin shown, it's more like, it's like on top.
Who did he
of it.
ask?
So cool. Friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Lei. Please correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, by the way. I think it's Lei. I am awful at pronouncing names. What, Google name pronunciation?
It's like, I used to have, you remember the books, they're called, it's called Aragon is the series. Whenever I read it as a child, I always thought it was Aragon. So whenever I went to see the movie,
Aragon.
It's E-R-A-G-O-N.
Yeah.
So it was Aragon, but in my head I was like Aragon. So every time I heard, I think it just went over when I read accent. But I always seen it as Aragon. So whenever I went to go and see the movie and they were like Aragon, I was like, no.
No, please.
It's Aragon.
Normalize. So I need a lot more CVs for that to work. So let's mirror these. And then We just need to invert the direction they're going. This hairstyle is the stuff that nightmares are made of for groom artists. The thing is, having this knot that goes around is going to give it a really cool asymmetry. So it allows one side to droop more. Like that. So we're going to get a really nice asymmetry from this. Granted, we might end up completely destroying all of this work later on when we realise we're doing it completely wrong. And when I say we, me, don't want to try to shift the blame. This one can stay mostly symmetrical. I guess this one needs to change though.
Is Lehigh or Lehigh? I whenever I say it's Lehigh, but I say Lehigh because I missed out.
Did you ask him
at the beginning?
Did you ask him how it's pronounced?
I was like, thank God.
How do you type it?
Leehigh.
Lehigh.
Lehigh.
Alright.
But in my accent, that sounds like I'm saying.
Lehigh?
No, yeah, so I would say Lehigh, but in my head,
So it's Lehigh.
it sounds like whenever you're a farmer.
So it
you say-
is my first, like my first guess was right.
Yeah, it's just the way I'm saying it, because whenever in my
I'm proud of myself.
in my where I'm from, my neck of the woods, if you say like Lehigh, it's like hey boy. That's all I hear.
Oh dear, Becca.
Oh, it's okay. Also, the I says the same thing as me. I told him the story about Aragon, and he was like, I say E-Dragon. It's like, thank God.
Oh, it's beautiful. Right, so I'm going to need to mask this. Let's hide the groom. Fur, head, loose, 01, mask. I did not press L. Oh, I did. That is the worst font. Oh, I've got, okay. Head, there we go. Loose. 01, mask. Fill this with black. Map Press 5 should be fine. And basically all I'm going to do for now, I'm not going to do proper treatment. I'm not going to fill in the whole back of the head. I'm just going to put hair where the guides are. That is not how you should do it if you're going for if you're going for VFX. But as a temp it'll do fine. I just need to get more guides in there once I'm happy with it. So let's get that solid brush with stylus pressure off. And I'm going to turn on wireframe just so I can get a better idea of where things are. That's about right. That doesn't look about right. But I can't undo. And then what's that doing? Okay, so I just did the straight line. So let's paint black. But actually no, set it to white. I need to get into the habit of just holding control. There we go. Oh, well, technically I don't need to get into the habit, but it'll speed up my grooming if I do. Sometimes it's worth training yourself to break like really tiny habits, because everything you do will speed you up. Or every habit you break can speed you up. Cool. Save textures. Save these textures. I'm gonna throw that density way up. Let's turn off that though. So let's go density to 100 for now. And then set the width to 0.1, I guess. So that is too low res. Let's go and generate that at 15. No, let's go 20 actually. Apply, accept. Perfect. And let's go even higher. Let's go 50.
Gonna get into bed. My head's actually quite sore.
Go for it.
You're thumping it.
You sure you're okay?
Yeah, no, fine. My mum did that once and she ended up like cracking her skull, basically.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if you're okay.
I am fine. For anyone that didn't is new to the stream, Becca smashed her head off the shelf in the bathroom.
Because she's an Egypt.
Because I'm Egypt, yeah. You used the word.
I just mispronounced idiot.
I think you'll find it's Ulster Scots. I think. It's that or Gaelic, I don't know which one.
Oh, I need to turn off only appearances of view. That's why it keeps breaking. Let's add our second clumping. Generate. Put this on to 12.
Like, is it raining?
It is raining.
I can hear it.
Do you want to close the door? Do you want to close the door? No?
I don't know, I'm just afraid of it coming in.
Alright, close the door. There we go. Ow! Just kicks the clothes horse. Right. Should I replace this with guide clumping? I think I should. Alright. And then replace this with something a bit lower density. So generate. let's change this CV count. Modifiers, let's add a cut. And then let's multiply that by $C length. I don't know why it's not a checkbox, to be honest. And then we're going to need a high frequency noise. Rand 0 to 0.5. So what I'll do with the guide clumping is I'll paint it out once you get past the hairline, so it's entirely procedural past that point. Curious as to how this looks. Let's go to our render cam. And start an IPR. The density is way too high, and obviously our hairline isn't feathered enough. Ah, but it's something. So let's check our hairline from the side. Let's go into RefCam. I'm going to go into shading and turn off X-ray. Show image planes. I had to set up a shortcut to turn all this stuff on and off. Alright, so my finger is placed on the screen where the hairline is. Yeah, so we're way back. Okay. So all I'm going to do is place a guide roughly where that was, which is about here. And then all I need to do is just do something like vaguely like that for now. First, now I apologize in advance. Are you gonna go sleep, Becca? Do you want me to turn the stream early?
No.
You sure?
Yes, like I sleep through many things.
I know you can sleep through many things, but still, it's only polite to ask at least. long as you're sure. So let's go into primitives, paint, and let's just paint a white line down to you. Save textures, save ptex. Then all we have to do is go into our regenerate our guide clumps, and then we need to regenerate any clumping that comes after that. Well, technically we don't have to regenerate, we just have to resave it. And then let's reduce that density a little bit. Let's go to 75. And obviously we'll be painting a density, can reduce that area a bit anyway. What I'm going to do in this area, by the way, is just have like a hoop mesh or something that I'm just going to put a groom on, and I'm going to hide all this stuff in there a little bit. Because that's infinitely easier than actually wrapping the hair around, which is ultimately completely pointless. Come on. So this one should be way looser. Although if it's loose it should droop more, so let's just have that. There we go. So let's regenerate our clump maps. And then for this we just need to set up maps and save again. There we go. Go for it. Details. Let's go to Maya. Set affinity. Cool. I think it could be interesting when we're done. that forehead though. Right, so got a noise in there. We only need even higher CVs, I think. I'm gonna need to go to like 48 or something mental. Let's turn the frequency down. And let's turn that down as well. Why? What's it?
Smells of boy.
Smells of boy. I mean, I can't really help that being a guy and all.
No, being a boy. That's
Boy.
that kind of boy.
Ever since God of War came out for the PlayStation, I've always just been like, every time I hear the word boy, all I can think of is the way he says it. Boy. Really wish I called this something else. Is it possible to rename a description? Let me just search XGen rename description. Seems like it's quite a large process, not sure I'm going to be bothered. I can always rebuild it if I choose to later, because I can just export the guides as curves and I've already got the texture maps. Let's reduce the frequency of that noise a bit. That's something I wanted to do while I'm at it. I wanted to go to the eyelashes and reduce their width a tiny bit. There we go. Now let's generate that again. So, which groom do we do next? I guess the most important one to do next is the one that pulls into the braids, but we need to make sure the braids are final before we do that. So I don't want to do that right now. And I think it'd be pointless to start adding all the guides in here just yet. Why did that move? Did that just move? I'm watching my stream right now. It did. What the fuck? This guy just moved when I switched groom. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be doing. What the fuck? Just at the idea of me, just at me saying, oh, wonder how I could rename a groom, action is already bugging out. I need to make sure I work without a microphone on when I'm talking about action, I think.
Why?
Because apparently it can hear me. It's freaking me out. So that's where that lump is coming from. Mirror that guy. Let's just get the strays in there while I'm at it. I think I've gone overboard on the kind of. I feel like I've just gone too much for the kind of afro hairstyle thing. I just need to tone it back a bit. And what I mean by the afro hair is like the really high frequency, like noise that a lot of afro hair has. I think I've just gone too much on it, so. Just smooth out all the hair a little bit. And let's turn up the correlation to 50%. There we go. Wow, what happens if I set it to 100%? How does it look? Ooh, quite like 100%. But let's not have it perfect, so let's go with 80%. There we go. Correlation ultimately is just how much the noises affect each other. Visually, that's kind of how it feels. If you set it to 100%, there'll be less kind of randomness to it. Let's just set that rand strength to 0.75. And I'm just going to add a new noise. This one will have a expression plugged into the mask. And this will just be a stronger stronger magnitude, 0.2. Cool. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do the inside of this. Although I'm not going to do that tonight. Definitely not going to do that tonight. In fact, what am I going to do tonight? Because I'm not ready to end the stream, but at the same time I do need to start working on something.
When do you work on the shaders?
Shaders for the what?
The earrings?
The earrings? I'm not sure I'm ready to do that. Alright, so we need... Let's replace this again. Feels a lot more natural. Although it's going to feel super greasy. Looking a bit better. Maybe we should super quickly just get something in place for the hairline at the top. Like, it doesn't have to be good, just something. Yeah, Becca. Question, because I need opinions on this. So, I've called the groom that goes round to the back and pulls up from the bottom just for head loose, right? And that makes vague sense. What would your first instinct to be for the hair that gets pulled into the braids?
I don't know.
Because I need fur braids, but I need that for the actual braids themselves. I don't know what to call. What was it?
Braid root, maybe?
Braid root. Ooh, that's a good shout. Braid root, braid root, braid root.
If you think about it, it's the root of the braid.
Yeah, I think braid root is a good idea. Yeah, nicely called. Thank you.
Bear in mind though that that hair will extend the whole way back because of the way those.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do something for the hairline at the moment. I don't want to call it hairline though, because I'm gonna be using this same groom to do kind of all of that braid stuff.
That makes sense.
All right, so braid root. That's a good shout. Thank you. Cool. So description. I'm going to call this one great description. Fur head braid root 1, description. And let me just throw down some basic guides. I'm not going to match them to anything, I just want to get something in there. Still can't scale. I still can't undo anything. Cool, that'll do for now. So what was the density I used for head loose? So it was 75 density and 0.01. Oh, I didn't add taper. I love that stray, but I don't know why it's there. So 75 and 0.01. So let's go into the mask. Black, and set this to, I think 30 we found worked on the head. So let's just do a generic. I'll line it up properly later. Again, I just want something there. Save textures. Save this texture too. This. Oh, I need way more CVs as well. What is the CV number I went for in the other groom? This is a starting point. 64. So it can be way lower in this because these hairs are going to be shorter because they're faking something. So let's call this one, let's go with 24. So then let's go into modifiers, create our first clumping, and then what was, can I just copy this? I don't want to save it just for the sake of saving me density 1 and 0.8. Alright, that's easy to remember. What about the next one? Density 1 and 0.8, and then 6. Oh, because that's not what it was using, was it? Let's go down to 3. It should be 1, shouldn't it? What's the clump profile like on this guy? Yeah, that's the reason, okay. A lot better. And then as a clumping, this one will be 6 times as dense, which is a huge leap, but so be it. And this one I assume is pretty similar. No, actually. It's just relaxed towards the tip. What about this one? That one is too. Control S. Oh yeah, thank you. So now, in theory, obviously it's not going to look good, but at least we have a hairline in place, so it doesn't look as strange as bald Twiggy. It's amazing that even with literally the worst groom, it still looks so much better. Ah, thanks for telling me to save. Timing was perfect. What can you do? Right, so Xgen. so let's check that front view. Right, so that is not the mask I thought it was. Oh, that's not what I want at all. Stroke pressure. Fill this area in and save this. So again, I'm just going to proxy this stuff. I'm not going to worry too much about getting it exactly right. So this is definitely in the wrong place. Actually need that to be slightly further forward. That's where hair starts pulling in. Oh, we're in lock length now. Cool. So let's turn off lock length. So turn off lock length. So this doesn't feel very natural at all. So I'm gonna do something like that. That feels a lot nicer. S curves, the obsession that I've always had, but I've always had with reason. Although there we go. The way it's moving is super strange. I mean, we're going to need guide comping for these just because I'm going to need to direct them so precisely, but for now I don't need to worry about that. I need some quite considerable region maps for this as well to get these to work. There we go. Pretty much going to end the stream here, guys, just because there's like so much to do, but I'm not going to be able to do it in time, so at least in time for this stream. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, I'm obviously going to stay on for a few more minutes so I can start a render. But if not, then I'll see you in the next stream, which will be on Saturday. Let me try. Why aren't they following? There we go. So let's add our cut. When did I add that noise? guess the last thing for me to add is the strays, which shouldn't take long, so let's just get it done. There we go. So let's go to our render cam. Show all. And let's start a 4K render. Let's get the previous progress image loaded in. Now just gets letting that clean up. So I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. But yeah, if anyone Poisoned Artist, I don't know if you're still watching, feel free to send me your reel, because you were mentioning something about reviews. I'm happy to do that. Everyone else, I hope you have a great night. I hope you enjoy your Friday, and hopefully I'll see you again on Saturday. But yeah, that's it for the stream tonight. I think we've made some decent progress. In the next stream I'll be spending more time getting the braids in the right position, getting them the right size, because today's was just a block out. Once we've got the braids working, then we can kind of spend more time getting the rest of everything else lined up. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. But enjoy the rest of your night, guys, and hopefully see you in the next stream. Bye.